Christopher Robin is the new Disney film. It is the official Disney version of Christopher Robin, because there was a drama biopic film starring someone else. I forget his name. Came out in like 2016. That one was called Goodbye Christopher Robin. That's not the Disney one. Christopher Robin is the Disney one. This movie will also feature like Pooh Bear and all the other characters. So this movie has a really generic and familiar storyline that we've seen hundreds of times before. Basically, Christopher Robin has to go to boarding school, so he doesn't have time to go to 100 Acre Wood anymore. He gets involved with a nice woman named Evelyn. They get married. She has a kid. He has to go off to World War II, however. He comes back all jaded and has to work for a luggage company that he doesn't like. But he's overworked and very unhappy, but he won't admit it. He's going to send his daughter off to boarding school. She doesn't want to go, but you know, he went there, and he starts quoting his boss, who's a lazy guy. So he's overworked. He's a workaholic dad that needs to pay attention to his family. I mean, we haven't seen that before. I haven't seen that since, like, you know, movies such as Elf or Saving Mr. Banks or Mary Poppins or Jingle All the Way. It's like a very familiar plot we've seen before. Most of the film's charm comes from obviously the animated versions of the Pooh Bear gang. You know, Winnie the Pooh, Owl, Piglet, Eeyore, Rabbit, and Kanga and all them. Basically, Christopher Robin is supposed to take his family to the cottage for the weekend, but he has to ditch them to create a new proposal in order to save the company, because the company is going under unless he makes some budget cuts. So he abandons his family. They go on without him, and while he's coming home from work, he bumps into Pooh Bear, who's climbed out of a tree in the park across from his house, and he thinks he's lost his mind, because, you know, Christopher Robin's grown up. He's like, why is the bear from my childhood in this park bench right now? And then he realizes that Pooh Bear's alive and he has to hide him. So there's a lot of hilarious jokes about the whole nap time, you know, having to pretend not to be alive because people go, why is there a talking stuffed animal in that man's arms, you know? So Pooh Bear's a bit of a nuisance because he's clumsy, so Christopher Robin has to take him back to the other portal, sort of in the house tree or whatever, in the cottage. So he goes back there and he gets sucked back into the world of 100 Acre Wood to help Pooh Bear find his friends. They're all missing. After Christopher Robin finds this, he has to go to the climax where he has to save the company and realizes that family is more important than work. Yes, we've seen this before. So the good things about Winnie the Pooh or the Christopher Robin movie, is that Ewan McGregor and Haley Atwell do well acting-wise. Mark Gatiss as well. The girl is also really good. Good acting. Really good set design. You know, it's taking place a period piece. The animation for the animals is good. All the humor, the voice acting is good for everyone except for Rabbit. I don't like Rabbit's voice acting. The joke's really great. The whole nap time thing, because after Christopher Robin leaves 100 Acre Wood to go to give the big presentation, he doesn't have his papers, so they have to go give him the papers, and they get into hijinks in the real world. And the movie, its only weakness is the generic plot line that goes the way you expect it to. It doesn't really surprise you. It doesn't have that much emotion either. It's a very, you even have that like cliche, like, I know how we can save the company. I'm going to also tell up my boss because he's a lazy prick, you know, and things like that. The movie is a nice nostalgia trip for those who like Winnie the Pooh. However, it is also a very generic and pedestrian and predictable story. But it's definitely a safe, enjoyable family film if that's what you're after. So I give Winnie the Pooh a 6 out of 10.